What if I told you that the atoms making up your cells right now have already been part of countless other organisms throughout Earth's history and will continue their journey long after you're gone? How does it feel to be part of a timeless cycle that extends far beyond your individual existence? The elements that constitute the human body exist in a constant state of flux, cycling through Earth's interconnected systems in an endless dance of transformation. This movement follows precise patterns known as biogeochemical cycles, nature's recycling systems that govern how elements like carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus flow through the living and non-living parts of our planet. These cycles ensure that the building blocks of life remain available for future generations of organisms, continuing a process that began billions of years ago in the hearts of ancient stars. Consider carbon, the backbone of all life on Earth. Right now, this element forms the structure of your DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. But after death, microorganisms break down these complex organic structures during decomposition, releasing carbon in simpler forms that return to the soil and atmosphere. Plants then absorb this carbon dioxide through photosynthesis, incorporating it into new organic molecules. Animals consume these plants, and the cycle continues. The same carbon atoms passing from organism to organism in an unbroken chain stretching back to Earth's earliest life forms. The time frame that elements spend in different reservoirs varies dramatically. Carbon may circulate through the atmosphere for centuries, reside in the oceans for thousands of years, or remain locked in rock formations for millions. This creates a fascinating temporal dimension to element cycling. The calcium in your bones might have been part of a Tyrannosaurus rex 65 million years ago, a trilobite 400 million years ago, or perhaps even part of an ancient sea creature whose body formed limestone that would later be weathered and absorbed by plants that you eventually consumed. Nitrogen follows a similar cyclical path. When your body decomposes, the nitrogen in your proteins returns to the soil, where bacteria transform it through processes like nitrification and denitrification. This makes nitrogen available for plants, which incorporate it into their tissues. The same nitrogen atoms that help form your muscles today might help form a tree tomorrow, a mushroom the next century, and perhaps the body of a human being not yet born in the distant future. Phosphorus, crucial for your DNA and cellular energy transfer, also continues its journey after death. Unlike carbon and nitrogen, phosphorus lacks a significant atmospheric component, making its cycle more dependent on geological processes. The phosphorus in your body ultimately returns to soil and water, where it can be incorporated into sediments, later uplifted and weathered from rocks, and eventually taken up by future organisms. This element's journey demonstrates how even the most fundamental components of life participate in cycles that span geological timescales. Every time you exhale, you release carbon dioxide molecules that contain atoms with extraordinary histories. As one researcher noted, the carbon in our breath was once part of ancient plants, dinosaurs, and other humans, illustrating the continuous cycling of elements. This statement captures a profound scientific reality. The carbon dioxide you just exhaled might contain carbon atoms that were once part of Julius Caesar's body, a prehistoric mammoth, or the first plants that colonized land hundreds of millions of years ago. With each breath, you participate in a planetary exchange that has continued uninterrupted for billions of years. Human activities have dramatically altered these natural cycles in recent decades. Mining operations extract elements from deep geological reservoirs at rates far exceeding natural processes. Agricultural practices, particularly fertilizer use, have more than doubled the amount of available nitrogen and phosphorus entering ecosystems. The burning of fossil fuels has released carbon that was sequestered for millions of years, increasing atmospheric carbon dioxide to unprecedented levels. These disruptions reveal our profound influence on ancient cycles that maintain Earth's delicate balance. In the very distant future, as our sun depletes its nuclear fuel and expands into a red giant approximately 5 billion years from now, Earth's fate will change dramatically. The The sun will grow large enough to engulf the inner planets, including ours. This cosmic event will disperse Earth's elements, including those that have cycled through countless organisms, back into space, potentially becoming part of new stars, planets, and perhaps even new forms of life. The atoms in your body are essentially immortal, far outlasting the temporary arrangements they form in your tissues. Death, from this perspective, isn't an ending but a transition, a release of stellar elements back into Earth cycles, where they continue their journey through geological and biological systems. The hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and other elements that currently constitute your body will exist long after your consciousness has ceased, participating in the same natural cycles that have sustained life for billions of years. This understanding transforms how we might view our own mortality. While our individual consciousness may be finite, the physical building blocks that make us who we are will continue their cosmic journey indefinitely. In a very real sense, parts of us will become flowers and trees, soil and ocean creatures, and perhaps even